All right, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100, we look at the action here on the data. You can see that we kind of got below our support, but ultimately buyers pushed us back up. And that's the biggest part of the day. We also look at the overall heat map, and you can see a lot of green across the board. The only things not really turning out green were utilities and discount stores, which who really cares about those? We look at overall tech, we look at semiconductors, we look at everything basically in the Dow. It was very good overall, okay? And when we look at this, it looks like continuation is likely as of right now. But the one thing that I will say is when you look at what's happening, broad markets, etc., you have a short week. That's what the biggest thing I want to say here. The biggest point I want to continue to push is a short week. So expect smaller amounts of volume and nothing really crazy. Do I think we're going to break all-time highs and go berserk this week? Probably not. Do I think we're going to break 19.7 and dump? Probably not, unless some crazy news does come out. But I do believe we are setting up with nice consolidation for the remainder of the week as far as NQ and indexes go. And I do believe the week after this, we could start seeing fireworks and a lot more volume come into play. So those are the big things I want to talk about. Now, when we go over levels, it's very, very simple here. Now, number one, on the S&P, what we were looking at was the potential. There's a few things we're looking at here. One, you did kind of double top on Friday, kind of double top. And if you broke down below the 542, you had sellers probably stepping in aggressively. But again, what happened here? Well, we look here, we look at that low, bounce right off of it to start the day, popping right back up. So overall, you're holding those areas that you need to. Again, the 544 level on SPY, which is what we were telling you about. Now, again, you're just range bound in this area right now. Okay, nothing crazy. You're not getting pulled out of it. We've also looked at VRVP to look at that volume, right? They're point of control right there, 544. So we're not really getting separation, but it's worth mentioning. Again, if you start to break that level, 542.5, 0.7, again, you're probably going to start falling quickly down towards 536, 537. But again, I don't really see that happening as far as, you know, a mass amount of sellers stepping into the market. We go into Qs, we look there as well. Again, so far, this is kind of the incredible with what's happening. Clearly making higher lows on repeat, nonstop, getting nicer and nicer, pushing back up. And you could argue that you're making a little bit of a flag. You're at highs, trying to press up, higher lows, wanting to get that pressure to the upside. And the best part is that we looked at semiconductors, but semiconductors aren't breaking out yet, right? Semiconductors aren't the strength here. Now, granted, green on the day, the semiconductor sector, but I mean, not the craziest. AVGO back in the party. We'll talk about them in a second. But again, it's more of, it's, you know, internet content information, right? Consumer electronics, software, right? The other ones, they're the ones really leading here, right? Apple, right? Apple, we talked about them on that dip. We told you on Friday, it was a bear trap. We tried to tell you, you bounced right back up from 10, basically 211 back into 217. You know, Amazon, another big name we told you about. You dipped down to 193, you're back at 197, hit 198. You know, Meta was another name that dipped. You're bouncing back up too. Even today, you dipped down to 493, bouncing back up. This is, you know, Microsoft. The list goes on, back at all-time highs, right? This is easy to kind of predict with what's happening here because we've seen some of this data come out before. Again, what did we talk about on SPY, right? Before we left you for the weekend, what did we say? Well, what happened last time, right? We go back here to end the month of May. You pull back, nice selling to start the month of June, buying to end the month of April, selling to start May, buying, right? You've seen some of this volatility here, right? And it's worth mentioning as well as, you know, July's been one of the good months for the stock market and a lot of these big tech names as well, as far as Apple is concerned as well. So things I'm looking at, things I'm excited about, and kind of the areas of continuation we're looking for here, right? Because it's worth mentioning what's been the going sign for us, right? What has Powell said regarding inflation, right? You know, Powell has been very clear on PCE and CPI. Okay, very, very clear. All he cares about is what is happening specifically on this data, right? Over and over and over and over and over. Okay, right? He's getting the information he needs. It's all you can Google this just for yourself, right? As far as taking initiating rate cuts, as far as the market getting to where it needs to be, all he wants is CPI and PPI to look good and job claims as well. And those things continue to print how we want them to. We've also gone over the PCE reports as far as the downtick there. Those are things that we've been looking for, right? So there's no big surprise here. If you're expecting bearish movement here, you're the one that's probably shocked and surprised because, again, you're having a bias on the market. Whenever the market's, you know, literally telling us what it wants and what it needs, and we get it, you have to anticipate upside. So you still look really good here. SPY above 544, Q's holding up as well. Dow was maybe the area of concern on the day, if any. But what I will say is Dow is pinching pretty hard here as well. You need to understand that as well. We come here, we bring the POC, you bring it back. You can see we're operating right there at POC, that line right there. That basically, that means that's where the most volume has been traded in this median range right here. That's where you're at. So it's not surprising that we're finding some resistance here. We start to break over this, get over this. I think Dow gets a lot of love. It's also worth mentioning another big sector here, right? We're getting a lot of love. Banks. We've been talking about this. JP Morgan, right? Breaking back out. Looks very strong. Breaking out of 198 when I mentioned it. Now it's at 207, 208. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, right? All doing the same thing. And Goldman Sachs might start, getting some fireworks here. So we have a lot of names we need to talk about as far as stocks and opportunities coming up. Now, I do want to give a shout out though to you guys. Something that you guys may have seen, right? Robinhood, right? Robinhood down, right? You saw TOS down. You saw Robinhood down, right? All these brokers are going down, and it turns out when you try to get someone on the phone as far as support, no one ever picks up. So again, I just encourage you guys, if you're looking for a platform that you're interested in, guys, I have to recommend Moomoo. It's who I use personally for all of my trading and everything I'm doing as far as options. If you guys want education as well, they have it here. They have the message board. They have everything that you could literally need inside of a platform. So make sure you check them out. Again, so what someone mentioned here, and I always say, like, don't really just trust what I say, look what everyone else says, right? I try to really push that narrative here. Someone, Derp Johnson, right? One of the things I like about Moomoo is the unusual options and options analysis feature. Like, again, a lot of platforms make you pay for this. Moomoo has it built in, right? It's literally built in for you. So you have all these other options and data that you're getting that you don't have to get off the platform either. So again, if you're interested, check them out. So we got a lot of options information to cover, and you know what? I'm pretty excited. Let's get started into this today. Now, obviously, really quick before we do that, SPY, what do you want to see? Continuation above 544, you look good. Into highs of 548.5, 550 basically. QQQ, similar instance here. Holding higher lows as long as you're above 478.6, you are bullish. Above 483, I think you're on the verge of breaking all-time highs. Even though I don't really see a massive break coming, above 483, you have to start expecting that type of break, especially with this action. Now, a laundry list of name guys I can go over. But first, if you're interested, the Discord link is down below. If you're interested, we have 7 spots available. Again, some people did not, people signed up for the wait list. They did not take advantage. If you're on the wait list, once the 7 spots are done, you'll have first come, first serve. But again, 7 spots are now available to everyone. If you want to check it out, do what you got to do. Again, I'm not here to sell anyone on it, but again, it's only available first of the month. So again, going into the market now, right? Overall, if you're not following, I gotta get the shout outs to our, plug ourselves, because if you're not following on Twitter and stuff, guys, I'm posting a lot of this information for free for y'all. So I don't gatekeep just Discord. I try to keep you guys posted all the time, right? So a lot of these plays have been mentioned. So number 1, let's go over Tesla. A lot of you guys are liking Tesla. A lot of you guys are interested here. Now Tesla, there's a few levels here. Okay. Tesla, you're getting back above the 200 SMA on the daily. Now it's worth mentioning your 200 weekly is way up here. So we have a lot to talk about, because that is a real range and real target. Now, I will say you have a level up here around 214. I don't want to go back and find it for you. I'm just going to mark it like that. So what you're looking at right now on Tesla, your 200 SMA, ideally what you would like to see is that break in what you're getting, a retest back into 206 and a bounce. So that is going to be the massive opportunity when you retest 206, 206.2 roughly. If you get that retest and that bounce, you are happy. That is the opportunity you want, and you want to see buyers show up aggressively from down there. If they do, you look good. Now, if you don't get that, right, you're like, okay, well, Tyler, what happens if you don't test 206 again? What if we're just full bull? Possible, right? A break and retest of 214 is also a good opportunity as well. I'd rather see 206, but that's what I'm looking for right now. Above 214, you have room into 230. I'm telling you right now, the 200 weekly SMA. But this is the opportunity we've been waiting for, guys, on Tesla. I've been mentioning it quite a bit. Great action. If you follow on Twitter, I've been trying to let you guys know, what you were looking at here on, overall on Tesla. So again, a lot of that stuff was right here. We even posted the ascending triangle here throughout the day when you popped up towards over 212. So a lot of stuff has been here. Number 2, Apple, right? And really quick, going over Tesla options, you're not going to have as many options. Options to buy here on Tesla. You got to pick and choose, get in, get out, make your money. Personally, that's my opinion. A lot of these are inflated on price now. I don't like dated Tesla contracts. Not a big fan. But if I was, I'd be going out of the money near 220s personally. But again, do what you got to do. I think the day trading, like the weekly or 1 week out, is kind of the way to go. Like 215s near they're about 550. Those make sense. Again, on the day, you're up 165% on those. So you're getting good action, good volatility. Those are things you want to see. Highs of the day were $7. So that is actually absurd to think about. So yeah, do like that. Now, Apple, very big, very great name. I posted this as well. We went over here, obviously on YouTube, but I said down here, I told you guys it was a yucky dip that we had to end the week. Yucky dip. But what did we say? We said Apple is the best long of the year. It is the best long of the year. I can say it over and over again. Apple is a stock that giveth, but it doesn't taketh away. Beautiful. Second Tylothians, 819. Write it down. Apple giveth, it doesn't take it away. Apple breaking out of your bull flag, getting back above your key level 214.7, mounting that level on the day. That's the most beautiful part here. You break above, you mount, and then you push up. Beautiful grinding on view up right now. You break 219, pop the champagne. I'm taking you to dinner, and it's all on Papa, right? That's what we're looking at now on Apple. Now, what do I keep telling you guys? There's two ways that I'm trading Apple. Number one, I'm going long on the dated contracts, right? January 17th. I've been telling you guys the 220s, slap them. You love them. That's what you want. Lather them up. That's what lather me up and give me some Apple contracts. That's what I want for Christmas, right? You're almost back. You're almost back near highs, worth mentioning on these contracts. That's the craziest part here on Apple. Really let that sink in. These contracts are getting back to where they were on the all-time high range. That's what you wanted to see. So again, these contracts are holding their value. They're moving great, up almost 28% on the day. Bookmark that. That's what you want to see. Now, short dated contracts I'm holding the longer dated ones, but when I'm trading shorter dated, this is where I'm taking profits when you get the volatility like today. I'll take at least half and let a few run and then cut the rest if we start dipping, right? So again, I've said the Octobers, right? More recently, this is what I traded in Discord. If you're in Discord, you saw this, right? Again, what did we say here, right? Apples, let's really quick. What did we say back here? This is Exxon and oil. We'll go over that here in a second. Apples, again, September 20th, they were $6 each. The 220s when we got them. There's a little bit more out of the money, right? We want to add some risk in there. So we got some Octobers before, then we got some Septembers. Those 20s, they're at almost 9. They hit highs today of around 930. Again, almost a 50% move from when we bought those. And those were around 210 when we bought them. You could have got them in near 206, 207. So again, massive opportunity. They are absolutely printing. So again, you're able to make money 50 ways to Sunday on these types of names on Apple, right? This is what you want. Why do we like Apple? Number one, guys, you need to be paying attention. I post a lot of this on Twitter, so I hope you're paying attention. But Apple sales right now are going through the roof, right? And they're expecting great numbers, right? They are expecting great numbers. And you have some FUD coming out there on this. But again, I post the good news for you and the news you should be watching very closely all the time on Twitter to try to make sure you know and are kept up to date with literally everything. I'm trying to find that data for you right here. I know for a fact I posted this. It might have been Apple. It was about their iPhone sales and what they're doing with chips right now. Yeah, right here. So Apple is expecting big iPhone sales based on their chip orders, right? They've been massively updating orders for their chips, and it's far away what they were doing on their iPhone 15, right? China sales are picking back up. Again, China's been the key here on Apple. I think Apple really could. Don't quote me on it. Actually quote me on it. I see this thing going past 230 pretty soon. Once we break out, it's one of the most bullish names out there. Number two, it was the other name that I was extremely confident on, Amazon. I've been hammering this name. Another big name we traded on the day. Again, verbatim, right down here when we started breaking out on Amazon. We started calling that out this morning, right? Boom, right here. Started breaking out. Had to make sure y'all saw it. Break, retest, looking for the fireworks, right? Got an even better movement than we expected. I was telling you guys on Friday as well. Amazon, monster play alert. This thing has value written all over it. The Temu, the Shein competition, the new chips they're working on. Guys, when we find plays and we get companies that are consolidating and that haven't even broken all-time highs, which Amazon just broke its 2021 all-time high, these are the names with some of the best potential right now. I want to let you in on a little secret. When your stock is smashing earnings and growing quarter after quarter here on their revenue, right? When the consumer, their direct customer, is supposed to be quote unquote weak, I want you to understand something. You are strong. You are strong as it gets. And not only are they strong, but they're innovating and going into different areas. And that's exactly what you want to see. Amazon, a very, very strong name here. I think this team gets over $200. I don't really have a clear-cut target, but I think they're extremely, extremely bullish. You're bull flagging here to end the day on the 1 hour chart as well. This is exactly what you wanted to see to get back over this little bit of a resistance that you had. Again, you're holding that overall level almost right there. That is what you want to see. This is what you love. Actually, it's right about there. So you can see exactly where you are. Again, Amazon looks great. Oh, above 198, I think your fireworks, you're shooting out. Again, Amazon, I've gone over pretty in detail. I like shorter dated contracts when I'm trading this. Like if you saw what I posted on Twitter today for my gains, I'm trading shorter dated contracts, either weekly, 1 week out, or the July 19th. They move great. The 200s specifically, the ones that I like. Again, on the day, looking where you got, I think this was on Friday. Right, let me make sure on Thursday they reached highs of 550 today, and then they dipped back down to 270, and then highs on today were around 410. So they're moving very volatile, very good, very, very, very good. And there's a high chance that these can get the money to really start running, even though they're shorter dated. The money is there to be made. I love Amazon, what it's doing. Very big opportunities as well. Make sure you're paying close attention to them. Those are my favorite names. Now, someone asked me today, okay, guys. I like to be as transparent as possible. Now, what did I tell you guys on Friday? So on Friday with Exxon, energy, I said, I love it. You popped up. I told you guys, I said in the video on Friday, I said, I took some profits on the volatile move up when you came back down towards 114.7, 115 flat. I added more. Well, what happened to start the day today? Oh my God, we gapped up into the same thing. So what do you think I did when I bought a stock? I made another 20% instantly. Do you think I held, or do you think I was like, I'm not gonna sell and do the same thing I did back here? I'm gonna risk it all. No, buddy. I sold some more. I bought some more. The same thing over and over. Also, too, worth mentioning when we look at Exxon contracts. First of all, guys, you need to have your own plan. This channel is not to be copy and pasted and get rich quick. It's to educate, right? Let me know down in the chat if you guys are getting educated. I want to make sure you guys are actually learning and not just feeling like you're just like blindly following. Again, these contracts reached new highs today. New highs. Spoiler alert, 630, bing, 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 bing. The same exact level they reached last time. Right there, the same exact, slightly, I think 5 cents higher. Bing, 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 right? Over and over. Initial entries were around $5, a little bit under, I believe. So again, another 20, 25% on these contracts once again. Okay? Bing. You're not, again, our original entry was down here at 113. Like, I really want that to like sink into our heads, right? Exxon, I still like it. I still like, again, the viewpoint on Exxon has been a hedge overall. If oil starts to stimulate and pop back to the upside, we want to be protected, which oil is still perking up, right? We've gone over the overall pennant that's forming here on crude oil, right? XLE, energy stocks trying to break out. The problem here was Dow didn't continue on the day for the better part of the day. When Dow runs, Exxon performs its best unless energy is pure strength. Okay. So again, understand that. So if someone's asking you, hey, Tyler, do I sell? Do I sell? Do I sell? Like when I go read, I try to respond to all your comments, but like, what do I really say here? Like, look at this. Like, what do I say here? Like Exxon, like what, like, do I sell? Is that support? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I don't know what else to say. I really don't know. So if you need help, seek help. Go get a doctor. But I'm not your doctor. So that's what I like there overall. Exxon looks very good. Still liking it a lot. Another big name here in CrowdStrike. Now, if y'all do remember, CrowdStrike had earnings. I told y'all about it here. Went crazy, went to highs. Now, another big name we talked about was ZS, also mounting the 200. Very lucrative name. I think this thing could run towards 220. Another name, PanW. But I want to talk about CrowdStrike right now in particular because I think this one has a blow off the top move. That sounded dirty. But when we look at CrowdStrike, again, this is literally what gets me going, guys. This is what gets me going when we find plays like this. Higher lows since the 10th of June. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay. You're ready to break out. You're probably going to run to 400 plus. You're probably running past 400 when you break out. If the market continues at all, CrowdStrike goes crazy, in my opinion, past 400. probably gives us a reaction kind of like AVGO and LRCX. That's what I'd imagine. Now, we go back over here to CrowdStrike. Okay, today's video is running a little long, but CrowdStrike. There's 1,000 ways you can trade this one too. You can go 719s for 400. They were I think like 840. I think those are the ones I traded. I forgot which ones I traded today. These things move great. If they get in the money, you can see you're going to be around $12 a contract. That's almost 50%. Absurd. You can go further on the money if you want. That's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But CrowdStrike, monster play alert. If you're going something like ZS, I think you're cheating yourself going short dated because the possibility of running to 220 is very high. I would go more dated. I don't love the Januaries. It's hard. I'd probably go Septembers. I'd probably do like a September contract for like 220s. That's probably how I would attack this. Hard to say, but yeah, that's what I would do because ZS has real potential to go crazy. And I love them. I love them, guys. These are the same plays I've been mentioning for weeks. Last but not least, AVGO. A big name I told you guys over the weekend. I'm not gatekeeping Discord, guys. I post a lot of free content. Now, if I'm working throughout the day, obviously I'm not gonna like sit on like live and talk to people all day long. I'd lose and burn my brain cells out. AVGO is a monster play I called in Discord, and I also called it on Twitter for free. So if you're not following on Twitter, again, your problem, not mine. So if I go down, we scroll, we find AVGO right here, June 29th, right there. We said right here, what do you need to do? You have your gap fill down here, 653. That's your level right there. Over 618, things look smooth. Watching this name closely with any strength. Over 618, and I told you on Friday, and I think I told you yesterday as well. You get above 618, and what happens here? You break above that level right there. You go to the 5 minute and get a better example. You actually woke up this morning. You slowly pushed up into that level. You broke it around 1040, 2 hours into market open. Break, retest, and you run right into our level. Bingo, guys. Again, this isn't to say, to flex or this or that. It's to show you guys that, when you're patient, when you have a plan, when you attack the market with a plan, good things happen. Great setups show up. You don't have to take 30 trades a day. You can be very patient and watch specific setups. So I want to really hammer this home of what we're looking for, guys. We're looking for good setups, right? We're looking for great setups, and we're not looking to just throw money anywhere and everywhere. We want to have a plan at all times, right? I want to give you a little testimony too of one of my favorite members in Discord. Her name is Coop. She has literally been like destroying, but I forgot to post this. So she talked about her last month right here. Finished the month strong. I practiced patience. I added positions into strength and not into weakness. Things I always say here. 3, I swung more than I day traded, right? I always talk about swinging trades. You make more money, especially if the market's strong, based on the current market conditions. And let's see what July brings. She had one of her biggest months of all time. She made $30,000. This is not me. This is not my gains. This is someone else, right? Guys, and this isn't just taking our trades. This is just her practicing what we're talking about here, focusing on the watch list every single day, right? Finding the trades for herself and really honing in, guys, right? That's the point of this. It's not to follow blindly and get rich. It's to learn, apply what we're talking about every single day, right? That's the fact of it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Keep killing it. If you're interested in the broker we use, Moo, again, I really appreciate you guys using them as well. They are a sponsor. They help us make so much free content here on the channel. But again, no pressure. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one, traders.